Hey, welcome to the episode, and today we are going to make Moravský Vrabec, which is?
In direct translation, Moravian Sparrow.
But don't worry, there is no sparrow in this dish. It's made with
Pork.
And a beautiful pork onion gravy. It is so very good.
We have our taste testers and we got some hints.
Yes, so stay tuned for the very end, but for now,
let's get cooking.
Woo, woo, woo.
These are our ingredients. We have both pork shoulder and pork belly.
Yes, and onions and lard and garlic and caraway seed and flour and some other stuff.
First, we're nicely browning the outside of the meat before we do anything else.
Yeah, and that gives it a little bit more flavor. And I guess while we're doing that, we're also doing some knife work. I'm chopping up the garlic.
Making sure it's nice and chopped.
Yeah, chop. And you're going to be working on the onions. So I think I chopped the onions first, and then you're using the food processor to chop them up. And it bothers me a little bit. I saw an onion skin in there, but we never found it when we ate it.
We never found it.
We won't tell anyone. And there it is, all chopped up with the paper in there somewhere. And now we're going to saute it.
Yep.
And we're using the oil that's left over from sauteing the meat. Yeah, so it gives
going to get another nice flavor in there.
Yeah, the meat flavor. And look at that. Boom, just like that.
A wonder of photography.
Yeah, so we saute the onions and the garlic. And then we switch to another pan. This is a roasting pan that's going in the oven because the meat isn't fully cooked. It's just braised.
Right. Now we're adding some water.
And now it's coming out of the oven. Look at that. It's coming out without ever going into the oven. And now we're going to make the gravy or the sauce, and that's the flour. And we mixed it with lard so it wouldn't turn clumpy. And then we're going to put water in that and then put that all in a pot with the meat. So there's the water and the lard and the flour.
Yep. And there it goes in with the pot.
Yep, and then that's going to heat up and it's going to thicken just like that. That looks amazing, doesn't it?
It does.
And there it is, served with some stewed cabbage and knedliki. Looks great.
It does.
Hey, Leah and Noah, let's get going.
They look very interested in trying this.
I think Noah didn't want to even put that in his mouth. There was a dribble and he let it drop. Yeah, he's not looking enthusiastic here. Well, that was actually surprising. I thought this was so good that maybe Noah would like it, but the meat doesn't taste like hamburgers, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. So what are our hints? I guess I'll start off with one.
Yep.
If you have a hard time, if you're in the United States and you have a hard time finding pork belly, which this calls for, you probably won't find it in the supermarket. You'll have to go to an ethnic store. And at least here, it's like a Mexican meat store. You can find it there, no problem. So that's hint number one.
Hint number two is when you're trying to mix your flour and water together.
Yes.
Use lard and flour first, so then the oil content makes sure that your flour doesn't become glue.
Yeah, it keeps the flour from clumping. That's a good hint. Thank you. And the last hint that we have is I forgot it. What was the hint?
Braising the meat.
Oh yes, braise the meat in a skillet, so it actually gives it a nice color. But then it rinses some of the fat out of the meat, and you can actually saute your onions in that fat. You don't have to use any extra lard for that. So that's it. Those were our hints. If you liked what you saw here,
please consider subscribing.
The button's down there, and hit that bell too, because that'll notify you when there's a new episode. We're doing a new one just about every week. And that's all for now. So until next time.
Dobro hoot.
Where's the bird?